Do you think people on the shore, like the locals, are friendlier during the off season versus during? What do you think about
We're
that?
always friendly. We're always friendly. I think I don't think anyone's maybe any more friendlier than in January than they are. I mean, everyone's friendly this time of the year. It's Christmas. Like everyone's friendly. Um, I think that you could certainly hear your fair share of early May. You know, oh my God, it's rental. The season's coming. Memorial Day hits, and it's like, oh my God, we go from 3,000 to 300,000, or 3,000 to 30,000 people, and then Labor Day comes, and you start to hear the thank God, everyone's gone for the season. I don't really hear that too much anymore. I mean, you do, I guess, periodically, but look, we are short. It's a short town. There are, I bet you that every single business owner loves May, June, July, August, September, early October. That's when they make all their money. That's when business is key. So you can't have one without the other. Is the best way to say it.
Yeah, those business owners, they probably love making the money, but then they get to relax more during the off
Yeah,
season. So.
sure. Hey, you can have a beautiful oceanfront property, and well, I'm not saying oceanfront, but you can have a property on the water. If no one's there, it's not necessarily. If no one goes there, there's nobody living there.
Yeah. On the topic of like the culture though and friendliness, and with other cultural or other factors as well, how does living in a smaller beach town like Strathmere,
Mm-hmm.
how does that feel different than living in a larger one like the Wildwoods?
I think I would say it's more about availability of items, and hey, some people like that. There's like if you're, for the most part, I mean, if you're in Strathmere, Deauville, Twisties, although that's closing now, La Fontana, there's a select, restaurants that are there, they like it that way though. And sometimes it goes back to, we were talking at one point, we were talking about the weather. You know what it's going to be when you go there. You know that if you're purchasing in a place like Strathmere, it's a small little town, kind of squeezed in between Ocean City and Sea Isle. You know what you're getting. Some people like that. They like it quiet. Not much going on. As opposed to them, you get into the you get into the Wildwoods, you get into the, downtown Sea Isle, into Ocean City. That it's there's a lot going on, and some people prefer that. I would say it's funny. You get some people, you can really you start to drill that down a little bit, and you even get that like in let's say like in the Wildwoods, like people, they want to be in certain sections of like North Wildwood. People want to be between First Avenue and like 16th Street. And some people want to be between like 18th and 25th. That's the boardwalk, the rides, they're right there, and other people don't want anything to do with that. They want to kind of be away from that because they feel it is quieter. There's not as much going on there. So even within the town, there's not so much the town itself, but even within certain towns, there's certain areas that people want to be just because they feel as though it might be a little quieter, a little less congested, a little less going on.
Yeah. And what do you prefer? I mean, do you live where you live because of work or because of, like, what's your personal preference?
I live where I live because that's where I want to live. That's what I prefer.
Like, what do you like about it? Why do you want to live?
It's not. I mean, I love the shore. I love the beach. I think that's always been, always been a draw for me. That was why I guess now it's almost 20 years ago, did move to the shore. So it's just because I love the beach. You know, there's just something about. I mean, there's just something about the water.
But why not Florida? Like, why specifically the Jersey
Um,
Shore?
I I love the heat. I love the sun. I don't know. I just never. I don't know. Maybe probably because my family, most of my family's here. So
Family was a draw and
yeah,
the beach.
just I mean, I'm in North Carolina, so if I want it to be a little bit hotter, I'm there too. So it just becomes a matter. But all my family is within. You know, I can drive to anybody.
Yeah,
There's
that's nice.
hours involved with that, but I could if I really wanted to.
Are there a lot of on that note? Are there a lot of like Jersey locals? Are they multi generational families who have lived here, or
Sure.
have they been mostly replaced with like other types of people?
No, there are many generational, you know, property's been in my family for 50 years. Property's been in my home for, my family for 30, 70. Um, I would say that one of the most difficult decisions for people when you're when we are selling property and listing property, one of the most difficult things that you you can deal with is when you do have like a generational home, or properties that's been in the family. They purchased it 30 years ago, and they have all those memories at that property, and now the current generation, I guess you could say, they don't use the property anymore, or they're not down enough anymore to keep it. So now it becomes this. So now they've made the decision to what we call cash out. So they're going to sell the property and they're going to cash out, and it can be that can be that's you really have to you just have to be you have to be conscientious of the people that you're dealing with. You have to be mindful that this is not. You're pretty much they're selling a part of their life of something that they had for like 30 years, 50 years, 70 years. Grandkids, great grandkids coming through the property. I mean, there's memories that are there that you just can't replace. However, at this point in time, they don't use the house anymore. Um, Maybe they physically can't use maintain the house anymore, and there's just no one that's willing to take it over. Um, those are always the tough ones. We always say that sometimes when people are selling, or even when they're purchasing, it's a want to, it's not a have to. And sometimes with regards to selling, for some people it's a have to, not a want to. And I don't mean a have to because, like, God forbid, a bank's taking their property or something like that, or they've lost a job. It's because they just, you know, and that is that is one of the most difficult scenarios to be in, only because it is an emotional process. I mean, it just is. Now all of a sudden, and you can see.